Fine. Pratik Agarwal is joining us right now. He's business head and chief investment officer at ASK Investment Managers. Pratik, it's a pleasure. Good morning. Thanks very much for your time. I'll get to what you make of the broader market. You are essentially of the view that you should effectively use the current weakness to build portfolios, and you don't expect significant damage to earnings outlook. I want to get straight to your thoughts on what has gone on with one particular name without sort of making clear that your views are not to be taken construed as a recommendation to buy or sell. I'm talking about AU Bank. The stock has seen quite a bit of drawdown. I mean, 25% plus over the last couple of days. It's been a favorite. I mean, trades at very used to trade at very expensive valuation, still not cheap. What is your view, Pratik?
Yeah, so we own the name. We continue to hold it, continue to stay positive if that helps. There has been confluence of few events and stories have been made out of that. But given the past performance of the management, yes, there is an issue about COVID and scare about NPAs moving up. I think if the management is able to address that, the stock could again do well. We don't sense any corporate governance kind of problems at this juncture at all.
Many have, many are pointing to exactly the latter, Pratik.
Yeah. So this is how
there are those. Yeah.
This is how it happens. There are two events. You join the two events and point to something else, but that may be a coincidence actually and not motivated. So at this juncture, I think we would believe that it is not a governance issue. But yeah, I mean, we can always change our views if we get more insights. I think the bigger issue there is that of profit growth in the wake of COVID and possibly hence higher NPAs. If the bank is not able to grow strongly and it is not cheap, so growth is built into valuations. I think it's reacted to that. And of course, all of the noises which also came in, all over at the same time. So the sentiment has gotten impacted. So my sense is if the management can repose confidence through delivery, of course, that NPAs will not shoot up and they will be able to grow strongly enough, of course, keeping the environment into view. I think the stock should find its feet and start doing okay again. But,
in fact, the management of AU Small...
Sorry.
The management of AU Small Finance Bank had clarified on the resignation of this internal auditor. They did indicate that the internal auditor had submitted the resignation earlier on, but it was not accepted by the board. They were hoping the internal auditor will continue, but those stocks did not materialize, which is why the disclosure was only made much later towards the end of April. But Pratik doesn't, as Pratik said, he doesn't think there are any corporate governance issues, would be more watchful of the way the profitability pans out in the midst of the second wave. But Pratik, on the financial space, in the last 4 months, you brought down your weightage by close to 150 basis points. Where have you trimmed your positions in, in the banks and the NBFCs?
So, as investors, we seek to not go overweight or overboard on any one single name. So, if a space performs well, as financials had, before the second round of COVID hit, we would typically take some money off the table. So we took some money off the table from names which had done spectacularly well for us in the NBFC space, for example, and used that money to bump up our exposure to, let's say, the manufacturing space.
And what kind of names there, Pratik?
Yeah, so there are PLI beneficiaries. We do believe some of them in the electronic space can do very well. There is a name in the metal category, not a large cap name, a mid cap name, which is obviously benefiting from the rise in metal prices and the inventory impact of the same. But more importantly, it does newer age structurals, doesn't seem to have a very high degree of competition, and is seeing strong market share gains. So, those two names have come in to many of our portfolios. But apart from these, what we have, as a thought also done is to increase weightage of names which do more business over the net, for example, or are part of the internet ecosystem. That weightage across our portfolios has gone up. We do believe, apart from chemicals, apart from pharmaceuticals, this is a space which will have lasting benefit from whatever we are seeing on the ground for last now 1.5 years in terms of consumer behavior.
Prateek, you brought down your exposure to the consumption space quite significantly in the last 1 year. It was nearly 50% of your portfolio. It's now down to 30%. At the current juncture, how do the consumer stocks look to you? Are they still looking overvalued? Because stocks have underperformed.
No, so we were very nicely positioned when COVID hit last year. Okay, we are investors who seek long period growth, and with the slowing of economy that was experienced even before COVID, we had positioned our portfolios into smaller ticket consumption staples, electricals, wires, fans, kind of producers. That did very well. From a 41%, it moved to closer to 50%. So when you say consumers, it is practically everything. Now, from there, obviously, as more spaces, started to show promise, we moved money into tech, for example, tech services and platforms. We moved money into chemicals and pharmaceuticals. And now, like I said, we are moving money or have moved monies to manufacturing. So that is basically what it is. It is not that consumers are not attractive. They are, but maybe others are more attractive. A thought that does cross the mind is that in financial 23 over financial 22, many of the consumers would struggle to deliver any sizable earnings growth, particularly staples, while a lot of the discretionary would benefit from the pent-up demand and lower base. So, 23 over 22 is a big growth here from 520 odd number on the index EPS. We will shoot over 700. Now, you can't be sizably overweight a space that will struggle to be with growth in that kind of a year. So we are more positive discretionary, while the current times we are maintaining staples. But as we go forward, and we have done this over the past 1 year, reduced lower growth spaces for higher growth.
Prateek, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us and running us through what you would do in the markets right now. We'll take a very quick break here, but on the other side, we have Mahesh Vyas of